Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. Now as a creator star, me and a bunch of other YouTubers get advanced access to information like upcoming events as well as upcoming updates that we can share with our audience. And in this video, I'll be sharing some of the updates that were shared with us so you can get to know what's coming up in the next few days in the Legend of Mushroom. Let's start with the upcoming updates and then we'll talk about the new Panda event that is coming out very soon as well. Firstly, there's been some updates in the avians. You are now going to have the ability to hatch multiple eggs at the same time. Remember, right now you have to select each individually and then try to hatch them. Well, that's going to change and they'll give you a batch hatch feature in the Avian Hatching. They're also adding a breeding probability option where you'll be able to see what is the probability you're going to hatch any of the avians depending on which avians you choose to breed. For example, if I were to choose this dragon and then I went here and chose the spirit, I'll be able to check what is the probability of getting, let's say, another one of the dragons or one of the spirits or any of the other like Anubis or even the less rare ones. You'll be able to check what are the probabilities you're going to get any of these. So that's something really good. I know some people were using a website to check the probabilities so they could decide, for example, if I really want a specific avian, which are the avians that I need to match to get a high probability of getting that avian. So now you don't need to go to any website. You'll be able to do it within the game. So that's a really nice addition as well. Next, they've increased the number of gear plans. So right now we have multiple sets. They're planning on increasing them to 10, and the number increases as you level up further, but at level 130 and onwards you're going to have the maximum adventure outfit and gear plans, which means you'll have 10 sets that you can choose from. That also means 10 sets of skills, 10 sets of pals, 10 sets of relics that you'll be able to set and choose from as well. And that can help you if you use different sets of skills for many different things, like for example if you use a different set for the lamp thief, a different set for the molten ruins, etc. So skills, pals, relics, back accessories, and enhancement plans are now also increased to 10. And of course, for the fruit bonuses, they're actually giving you 2 additional sets that you can use at level 9, and at level 10, you'll get 3 additional sets. Keep in mind that the gear plans, you also now are going to have 10 as well. So of course, good to have, especially if you use a lot of sets for different activities. This can be quite helpful. The next one is the Flame Temple, and if you remember this, we've been stuck at level 20 for a very long time, and the probability of getting one of those pink runestones is really low. It's around 1%, and I've been waiting for it to get a higher maximum level so I could get more of those pink runestones, because I am desperately looking for the right ones with the right secondary stats as well as the set bonuses. And as you can imagine, that's a lot of right stuff that I'm looking for, which means that I'll have to go through a lot of pink runestones. So 5 additional levels going up to level 25 will make this easier for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now the Family Brawl shop, which currently has 3 skills, is now going to get a 4th one. It's called the Winged Dreams, and it's going to cost the same 12,000 family battle points, so you might as well start saving now. Now they didn't give a lot of details on what that skill is going to be, but given the timing, it seems quite likely that it's going to be a skill that is primarily targeting the Beastmaster and Supreme Spirit classes, right? Because right now you have one that's good for warriors, one that's good for archers, one that's good for mages, but you don't have any of these special skills available here that are for those Beastmaster and Supreme Spirit classes. So it's almost a no-brainer that that skill is going to be for those classes. So if you want, you can start saving up, because you might as well just unlock it, as getting extra skills is always good. So the Winged Dreams skill. The other skill that's actually coming up and going to be unlocked soon is going to cost 2,000 of those cross-server crystals, and it's called the Ancestral Will. Again, my assumption, it is for those 2 classes as well, because this store already has one for Archer, Mage, and Warrior, and it's just missing one for the Beastmaster and the Supreme Spirit classes. Alright, so other than that, they're actually adding the ability to check the power of both sides, so yours and the enemies, whenever you go into your arena and cross-server arena ranked match reports. So right now when you go to the cross-server, you are able to see that, but when you go into the regular arena, you don't see that. You just see the number of points you got or lost, and no other information is shown. So my assumption is that soon the regular arena reports are also going to look very similar to the cross-server ranked match reports as well. The cross-server showdown is actually going to get a few other stuff as well, including artifact enchantment, avian training items, as well as the gems of love. Those are definitely useful items to add. My guess is they're going to add the enhancement, or they might add the fruits. Perhaps they might add the avian breeding cakes as well. And of course the gems of love, which are quite rare, so nice to have as well. Then in the parking wars, you have a management menu which can display a summary of all the attributes that you're getting related to the parking mode. So the way I read it is that you'll be able to check what are all the bonuses that you're getting related to the parking wars. Next up, in the Cloud Ascension trial, you might realize that sometimes you're fighting the Lamp Thief. Well, now the Lamp Thief is actually able to do counterattacks on you. Even though that damage of the counterattacks is not going to show, they will be able to do counterattacks on you. Next, if you're tired of your family members stealing fruits from you, you'll now have the ability to block other family members from coming to your farm. So that's a really good one, because sometimes you want to make sure that your family isn't the ones that are always stealing from you. Well, now you will have that option. You can block your family members, and that can protect your crops and make sure that only enemies are the ones that are able to steal and you're not actually getting hit by friendly fire. I think that's really helpful, and I think that's important so that families aren't the ones that are just stealing from the weaker members. Your attack speed is now going to be calculated based on the level of your character and your lamp level in case you decide not to have any weapon equipped. See, right now I do have a weapon equipped and it does have attack speed associated with it, which you can check over here. My attack speed is 4.33, but if I were to switch to a set that doesn't have a weapon, you'll see that my attack speed actually went down to 1.49. That is a major drop in my attack speed, but of course, after the update, your attack speed will be determined even if you do not have a weapon equipped. It's going to set a certain number of attack speed to you, so you won't be able to reduce your attack speed so substantially by just removing your weapon. Finally, in the artifacts, when you're looking at certain artifacts and you go to the artifact preview, you are able to fight the Lamp Thief, but that Lamp Thief has very low HP and that can sometimes end the battle really fast. What they're doing is now they're increasing the health of the Lamp Thief, so you're able to see a better preview that's not going to end in a few seconds. Alright, next up, let's talk about the Panda House event. So that's an event that's starting on 20th of September 2024, and essentially it's very similar to any of the other events. You have one of those mini games that you can play, and based on your score you get a bunch of rewards, and essentially the rewards include free draws that you can use to claim some of those great prizes that this event actually has. And here you can see the draws, and you can see that the main prize is a panda, and you need 500 draws to guarantee it. You can also see that there is an artifact as well, and that artifact is actually pretty cool as well. We'll talk about that very soon. Okay, as always, there's the $1 and $10 investment that can get you a lot of draws, so this is definitely a really good place to invest in. For $11, you get a ton of draws and a ton of different prizes, so even if you're a light spender, you could have a chance of getting the mount or maybe the artifact. Of course, there's the ranking system, and based on your rank, you get a certain number of prizes. And that includes the Skyrider passes as well, which you can use in the Rush store. And of course, there's the daily tasks that you can do, which can give you some bamboos. And of course, those bamboos go in here and they can get you some free draws. And if you got the $1 and $10 investment, you'll be getting a bunch of extra draws and a bunch of other prizes as well. So by doing those daily tasks, you can achieve lots of great benefits. And as any other, there is the option to buy packs. And of course, you want to purchase packs that give the best return on investment, right? And not all packs offer the same return on investment. And actually, it's not always true that the cheaper packs are going to give you the best return of investment compared to the higher dollar packs. Because if you look at the first one, it's $1 for 2, which is about 50 cents per roll. But if you go to the next one, and that's $5, so if it was 50 cents per roll, you should be getting 10 rolls, but you actually end up getting 8, right? Move to the next one, and compared to the $5 one, it's double of that, but instead of getting 16, you're getting 18. So it's actually better than the $5 pack, but still not as good as a deal as the single dollar pack, because that's 50 cents. And if you were getting that rate with the $10 pack, you should be getting 20 rolls, but you're getting 18, right? So do that math when you're deciding how many rolls you're going to buy and which ones you're going to buy. So you're only spending money where you're getting the best deals. Now, shortly before this video, I did make another video about buying stuff in events. I definitely recommend you check that out if you're interested in either getting the mount or the artifact that we're going to look at very shortly. And you'll see how much it should cost you to get those items. All right, let's start talking about the Panda Attack mount. And it is a really cool mount. Every 10 seconds, you gain control immunity for 3 to 5 seconds, and it also boosts the attack by 5 to 12% and your damage resistance by 5 to 12% for 10 seconds. So let's talk about the first part. Control immunity for 3 to 5 seconds, and it triggers at the start of the battle, and that's generally when people are using the disarm or the stun on you. Well, you have control immunity, so that stun isn't really going to work on you. So up until now, the Ox was one of the best mounts out there for PvP, and I was just waiting for it to appear in the Lucky Spinner event just because of its extra mount skill of increasing your damage resistance by 10% and shortening the duration of control effects by 30%, because it just makes such a major impact in battle. But this is actually giving you control immunity, right? So you can't even get the control to begin with, and it's also giving you a damage resistance of 5 to 12%. Theoretically, you could actually get more damage resistance from the Panda than you're getting from the Ox, and it also boosts attack between 5 to 12%. So lots of amazing things making it even better than the Ox. Potentially higher damage resistance. It's giving extra attack as well. And it's giving you control immunity. So it's not just reducing the duration. It's allowing you to just not get in the control status to begin with. And if you look at the second part, it boosts the attack by 5 to 12% and damage resistance by 5 to 12% for 10 seconds, right? And then 10 seconds after, it triggers again. So it just changes the number of the attack between 5 to 12% and the damage resistance by 5 to 12%. But at all possible times, you'll have some attack between this range and some damage resistance between this range as well. So really, really, really good mount. One that you could consider getting, especially if you like me as an archer. Here is a possibly clearer image so you can see what the mount looks like. Next up, the artifact, and this one is actually really interesting as well. So number one, you're gaining 20% crit rate off the bat, which is of course really cool because I was lacking some crit rate, right? My combo was really close to 100%, but I would love to have both combo and crit rate to 100%, but that just wasn't the case. With this artifact, it might even get very close to 100%. But that's not it. Each crit increases final crit damage by 1% until the battle ends. So it's a permanent increase in your final crit damage. And when you say final crit damage increase, it's actually better than just crit damage increase because you are considering the final crit damage that you have and increasing it. So really helpful, and it can stack up to 20 times. So you get an increase of 20% in your crit rate, and then you can get an increase in the final crit damage of 20%, which is actually quite major. And the best thing is that's not the end yet. Upon reaching maximum stacks, right, so 20 crits, where you're already getting that 20% extra final crit damage, every crit after that has a 10% chance to deal an extra 750% area effect skill damage, 150% current basic attack area effect damage, which can also get another crit, making it even stronger, and 150% of your current combo area effect damage, which can also be crit, and 150% of your current counter area effect damage, which can also get crit. So we're talking a 20% increase in your crit rate, a potential 20% increase in your final crit damage, and then every crit after that has the opportunity to do a ton of more damage on top of that, and that damage can crit too, making this a really nice artifact and another very tempting thing that I may want to consider investing in. And this is what the artifact looks like. You can see that it's a bow, but it's super big compared to the size of your characters. Now they did also, of course, release the Panda costumes. This is what a male costume looks like, and this is what a female costume looks like. So now the costumes do provide a passive bonus, but that bonus isn't that large. So costumes are never my target, but of course I do generally get luckier with costumes than I get with any of the other stuff like mounts or artifacts. So there's that as well. And since you're still watching, I highly recommend you download Aptoide before making any additional in-game purchases, because you can get between 10 to 35% bonus on the in-game purchases if you use our promo code SkyMush, and that can actually help you save a lot of money, especially in the long run. If you're interested, check out the video that I'm linking to the description, and it will go through the whole process with you in a lot of detail. If you're interested, you can also join our Discord server, and I can help guide you personally on how you can actually start benefiting from using Aptoide. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, please comment below, please share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one.